Welcome to Storytime, a space where ancient tales open the doorway to timeless wisdom. Each story we share carries a vibration, a way of remembering the deep truths that live within us all. Today's story takes us back to the lush village of Gokul, where young Krishna, the playful cowherd, teaches a lesson that feels as relevant today as it did 1,000 years ago. What follows is a tale of storms and surrender, ego and humility, courage and compassion. A story of how one small boy lifted a mountain, not through might, but through love and faith. Welcome to Storytime. As you listen, let the story wash over you like soft rain. Notice where you see yourself in its rhythms, perhaps as the villager seeking safety, or Indra, who resists letting go. Or maybe you even relate to Krishna, discovering that strength and serenity can live in the same heart. So settle in, take a breath, and let us journey together into the story of Krishna lifts the mountain. It was custom in those days, as the hot summer months were coming to an end, to pray to Lord Indra, ruler of the heavens and dispenser of rain, praying for life-giving rains to nourish the crops. It had not rained in a long time. The Yamuna River was running low. In fact, in places, the riverbed was completely dry. The cows grew thin and gaunt, without fresh grass to eat. But still, Indra did not send the rains. Krishna said, "Why pray to Indra? The rains will come when the clouds are ready. Let us instead honor the mountain that sustains us and the wise among us who teach us." Lord Indra did not like all the attention diverted away from him. In a fury, he sent a searing bolt of lightning, followed by rain so hard it could peel bark off of the trees. The villagers panicked. "Oh, Narayana, save us from Lord Indra," they prayed. Krishna, of course, was none other than Narayana, and he always heard a call for help. He lifted Govardhan Mountain on his little pinky and held it up like an umbrella. The cattle and the villagers took shelter under the mountain. Although Krishna provided the strength in his little finger, the villagers also helped. They held up the edges with their staves, balancing the mountain as it rested on Krishna's single finger. Additionally, they supported one another and kept faith alive as the battering rains continued on. Huddled together in safety under the protection of the mountain, no one cared. Humbled, Lord Indra appeared before Krishna and said, "Forgive me, Narayana." As Indra's ego softened, the rains became gentle and soft, and the happy villagers were able to return to their homes. Kansa's demons had made many attempts on Krishna's life, but Krishna had killed them all without suffering so much as a scratch. This made Kansa very unhappy. He summoned Akrura, a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. "Akrura, my friend," says Kansa, "I regret that for years I have tried to kill my nephew Krishna. I would like to meet him. Please bring him here." Akrura doubted Krishna's intentions, but he hitched 2 handsome horses to his wagon and headed toward Gokul, praying all the way. "Help us, Narayana." The villagers said, "Your cousin Balaram will go with you, Krishna. We will not let you go alone." On the way to Mathura, The horses needed a drink of water. Water the horses. We will wait in the carriage, Krishna said. Akrura watered the horses and hitched them back up to the wagon. When he returned to the lake for a cooling swim, he saw an image in the water. Krishna reclined on a coiled serpent, holding a conch shell, a mace, a lotus flower, and a discus in his hands. Akrura couldn't believe his eyes. He looked back at the wagon on the shore. Krishna and Balaram were sitting right where he had left them. He swam back to the shore and fell at Krishna's feet, crying, "You are Narayana, aren't you?" "You must be seeing things," said Krishna. He hugged Akrura, and the devotee's heart filled with hope and love. In Mathura, Kansa received Krishna and Balaram very warmly. He led the boys into a public arena and announced to the crowd, "Now my nephews will play with the elephants." Kansa hoped that the elephants would crush the boys to death. But instead, the boys flattened the charging beasts as if they were children's toys. Pulling off the tusks, they waved to the cheering crowds. Not one to give up, Kansa cried, "Krishna and Balaram will now take on my wrestlers." "Only 2 against so many? That is not fair," murmured the crowd. But Kansa ignored their protests and signaled for his bloodthirsty wrestlers to attack the boys. Krishna and Balaram slew the wrestlers. In a matter of minutes. Humiliated, Kansa called his 8 brothers for help. Again, Krishna and Balaram killed them with one sweep of their hands. There was no one left for Kansa to call for help. Desperate, he bellowed, I will crush these boys like bugs myself." And he marched into the ring. "I will leave him to you, Krishna," said Balaram, who stepped aside as Krishna gathered Kansa's hair into his hands, pulled his uncle's head back, and struck one fatal blow to his spine. The crowd could not believe that the reign of terror was over. They spilled over into the ring, lifted the boys up onto their shoulders, and danced with joy. The earth goddess, Bhumi, sighed with relief. "Thank you, Narayana, for fulfilling your promise," she said with gratitude. Soon after, Krishna and Balaram headed to the prison to free Devaki, Vasudeva, and King Ugrasena. Grateful to be freed, but even more joyful to be reunited with their son, Krishna's parents hugged him with joy. To the late Kansa's father, Krishna said, "Grandfather, now you'll have a chance to undo all of Kansa's evil deeds." "I am old, my child," said Ugrasena. "You deserve to be king." "Not me," cried Krishna. "I'd rather herd my beloved cows than be a king and live in a palace." So, once grandfather Ugrasena was crowned and Krishna's parents had been set free, Krishna and Balaram returned to Gokul. Krishna could escape being a king for the time being, but he could not escape going to school. He was sent to the ashram of Rishi Sandipani, where he spent years learning how to become a warrior king. All that training would help him keep his promise to mankind. Anytime the earth is overrun with evil, I will come to restore peace and order. At its heart, Krishna's story is the story of a child wanting pure love from his mother and a life of playful joy. Though he is a divine incarnation, born with unparalleled strength and magical powers, Krishna doesn't want to be worshipped as a god. He wants only to be loved as a human child. This story points to the primal need of all children, children of all ages, to be loved, to be protected, and to know that they are safe. Receiving love from parents and community is our birthright. And when given unconditionally, love enables us to develop our own sense of self, our own true self, and to know our worth so that we might contribute to the community. The Hindu worldview recognizes 9 primary emotional states, or rasas. They include both positive and negative states, from bravery and tranquility to fear, disgust, and anger. In India, small children are encouraged to express the full range of emotions in order to become fully developed human beings. Small children are considered innocent, even godlike. So even their negative emotional expressions are seen only as opportunities to give them the love they need. An Indian mother, in fact, will often call her child Krishna as a reminder that innocence and trust are the true powers that bring children into the world. So to recap, I have 3 key takeaways. First, the attempts to kill Krishna and Kansa sent numerous demons, Putana, Trindavarta, Bakasu, Agrasura, to kill Krishna during his childhood. And each attempt failed, and Krishna emerged victorious. Secondly is Kansa's downfall. Eventually, Krishna and Balarama came to Mathura as youths. Krishna slew Kansa in a wrestling match, ending his tyranny and freeing his parents. And thirdly, contrast to Krishna, the stories highlight the balance between darkness, Kansa's oppression, and light, Krishna's dharmic role as restorer of righteousness. Remember, Krishna came, right, to overthrow Kansa. So let us close. As the rains quiet and the mountain settles back into the earth, we are reminded that every storm carries a teaching. Krishna's story is not just about divine intervention. It's about awakening the divine capacity within us all to lift the weight of life itself. We learn that faith is not passive. It's an active choice to trust in the natural unfolding of things. We remember that when the ego rages like Indra, humility becomes our shelter. And we see that our daily practice, our breath, our awareness, our compassion can become the mountain that steadies us and those around us. Tadasana, the mountain pose. In the end, the greatest power we hold is not to control life's storms, but to cultivate peace within them. So take a moment to breathe that in. What mountain do you lift in your own life? What storm are you learning to meet with faith instead of fear? My hope is that the story inspires you to move through your days with a humble strength, much like what Krishna carried, light in heart but steady in purpose, and always connected to the divine rhythm of life. Om Shanti. Peace to you and peace to all everywhere. May you breathe deeply, move freely, labor lovingly, and live vibrantly. May you be well. Namaste. Hope to see you at Coach's Chat, where we'll dive a little deeper into the lessons in this final chapter of Krishna's story. Take care of you. Take care of each other. This is the invitation of yoga living.